Kratos, the once mortal warrior, became the new god of war.
Hey everybody, welcome back for part 2 on the 3-part review of all the God of War games before God of War 3. In the last episode, we discovered that the first God of War was a really fun game, but can the sequel come in for improvement? Yes, it can. Let's not waste any time and get the second game started, shall we? God of War 2 is a direct sequel to David Jaffe's own creation on the PlayStation 2, and now we look at it in all of its HD glory. Sadly, David Jaffe is not the mastermind behind the sequel, as his colleague, Cory Barlog, takes the lead as the game's director and lead game designer. Considering that the last game was fun with action that seems sort of flat, you would think that the sequel would show improvement after conducting a post-mortem from before. Let us jump on the God of War bandwagon as we take a look at the sequel in the God of War collection on the PlayStation 3. Taking place sometime after the events of the game before, Kratos assumes the role as the new God of War after slaying his manipulator, Ares. Sadly, killing the former God of War could not rid Kratos of the nightmares of him murdering his family and the innocent people on that day many years ago. Growing frustrated and unsatisfied with the gods being deceitful and untruthful in their words, Kratos begins to operate on instinct with helping the army of Sparta and conquering many towns and cities in the name of Olympus. This is due to the fact that none of the gods or the people of the Greek pantheon have accepted Kratos for what he is because of his wrathful nature. The gods ploy to kill the ghost of Sparta, but Athena does everything she can to protect him from their malevolence. The goddess of wisdom pleads Kratos to stop his brutality and recklessness, but he continuously ignores her and travels to the city of Rhodes to assist the Spartans. Upon arrival, the Colossus of Rhodes makes Kratos believe that it is Athena in disguise, and he fights back. Zeus offers him help by giving the God of War the Blade of Olympus, but it is said to infuse his godly powers into the blade if there is any chance of victory. Kratos does so, but it turns out that Zeus sapped his power of godhood into the blade to wipe Kratos out in an instant. Being battered and bruised by the king of the gods, Kratos is one step close to dying and entering into the world of Hades, but he is saved by the help of the Titans, who come to his aid. Kratos must do everything he can as he knows that the gods must be brought down for good. The path at the end of Greek mythology is about to begin. The concept of this game follows pretty much the same formula from its predecessor. However, your main goal is to take down the king of the gods, Zeus. You will start off in the city of Rhodes by taking down the Colossus statue. Then you will end up taking the winged horse, Pegasus, to request help from one of the Titans, Typhon. After that, you will travel to the island to where the Sisters of Fate are lying in wait for your arrival to go back in time to when Zeus betrayed Kratos, and then you will fight the King of the Gods in a final duel. Or is it? The action in the basic combat moves for Kratos has remained untouched, but the biggest fix is the special moves when equipped with Athena's blades. The Cyclone of Chaos and other special moves have different animations to show more brutality coming from the Ghost of Sparta. Speaking of combat, you even have a bigger arsenal of melee weapons to arm yourself with. The newest weapons are the Barbarian Hammer, Spear of Destiny, and Blade of Olympus. They all function like Athena's blades, and they are a bit more agile and nimble than Artemis's blade. Your newest abilities will come from the Titans and not from the gods this time, as they have betrayed you. You will receive help from the harsh and chilly presence of Typhon with Typhon's Bane, which is a bow with arrows, Cronus' Rage, which can shock enemies with a long strand of lightning, Uriel's Head, which acts as Medusa's Gaze, and Atlas's Quake, which can damage enemies on a ground surface. New and supportive equipment that will support you will be the Golden Fleece to block beam projectiles, and then you have the Icarus Wings to float toward faraway platforms during your jumps. Of course, your weapons and abilities from the Titans have their share of growth and strength. Just like the game before, you have to collect red orbs from treasure chests or enemies to reserve for the growth of your inventory. Don't forget that the green and blue chests are back to restore your health and magic if you are ever in a pinch. Also, the Gorgon Eyes and Phoenix Feathers are back to increase your health and magic gauge. QuickTime events also return, and they can be done on enemies or during story events. Finally, you can collect special urns and Cyclops Eyes for extra content. Speaking of which, beating the game will help you gain extra content like costumes, behind-the-scenes videos, the Challenge of the Titans minigame, and so much more. The concept improves over the original, and actually plays a lot more nicely than before. Everything in the control scheme is set up as the same, but let us take a recap, shall we? Moving Kratos is done with the left analog stick, and the right analog stick is utilized to make him dodge from enemy attacks and traps. Hitting the square button will launch weak attacks on your foes, and the triangle button executes heavy blows. You can grab your enemies when prompted after they take damage, and you can brutally murder them or go through quick time events. Holding down on the L1 shoulder button will make you block from enemy attacks, and pressing L1 along with the square, triangle, or circle button will make Kratos do a special move like the Cyclone of Chaos. There are certain objects that can be moved or switched that can be controlled by pressing on the R1 button. Jumping is done with the X button, and hitting it again in the air will make you do a double jump. Holding the L2 button will execute a magic attack, and hitting one of the 4 buttons on the D-pad can make you switch which magic you want to have selected. All the melee weapons have the same functions with the attacks and special moves, so nothing is really added into the mix. However, you can ride Pegasus from place to place, but it is in a linear path. The attacks are done in the basic style of how you normally would control Kratos in battle. The moves are all there, and they are flawless and well in place, so it is nice to not stray away from the controls of the original game. In comparison to the original, I can say that the design in this game exceeds its predecessor by a mile. Most of the places in the previous game looked very grim, but the detail looks more rich and imaginative with that fantasy feeling. The detail on Kratos has improved, the looks on the Titans in the F&B scenes were really interesting, the attention to detail on the environments is more than the eye can see, and the visual effects are very stunning. The game added more variety to environments as opposed to the constant atmosphere of the previous game. Just like before, everything was done in Autodesk Maya, so nothing new was done in the design process. Even as another HD overhaul, the original PS2 version is still no slouch in the visuals. Overall, the visuals are about the same as the first game, but they are tweaked with better detail and more variety within the environments and characters. It shows that a sequel like this is safe for improvement.